There we go. Okay. Um, okay. So I have like a list of questions that I went through, and I asked other people any questions that they had, based on line three, just because they're trying to get the word spread out as much as I can. Try and do some some helping. So how anyway.
Yeah.
um, okay. So what company is building the pipeline?
Enbridge. It's a corporation from Canada. Actually, it's a Enbridge. Enbridge is building the pipeline.
Okay. And then what is the pipeline doing to where it's causing the native people to protest it?
Yeah, the pipeline, what it's doing is actually going through tribal land and wetlands and sacred burial grounds within like the 1855 treaty rights. And it's been approved by the Fond du Lac Nation, which is like the smallest reservation in Minnesota, but it has the most power, and it's part of the MCT, the Minnesota Chippewa tribes. So when like Fond du Lac signed on, it like signed on for all of the MCT and none of the rest of the MCT, which includes White Earth, Leech Lake, I believe, all of the tribes in northern Minnesota. Like we all didn't approve it, and Fond du Lac approved it, and now they're going through a ton of wetlands, which actually holds wild rice, monomen, and they're actually right now taking water out of the streams and out of the rivers and out of the lakes, and they're taking million gallons of water, and they're like running it through their machines, and then they're like re-putting it back into the lakes and stuff. But that's what they're doing essentially.
Okay. And then how have people been protesting the pipelines?
We've been protesting by doing peaceful protests, by doing ceremonies, water ceremonies, sunrise ceremonies, as well as like some people like even get the passion to lock down on some of the equipment. So like I can't say how people do it, but like they get like a item which covers their wrists and their arms actually, and they're like linked together. I would show you with both my hands, but I don't have like a stand. Again, maybe I can do this, but like essentially they go like this with their
Uh-huh.
hands, and they're like they have this like thing over their arms to protect their wrists, and that's what they do, and that's how we like protest the line three actually, is by locking down, and then we have like a soft blockade in front of the easement or in front of the equipment yard. So a soft blockade, what that means is like people use their bodies, and we link arms together, and we actually stand in a line, and we hold the line up until 3 dispersal orders, and then after 3 dispersal orders we leave. So then like people who can't get arrested, we leave, and we make sure they're safe. And then like once that is done, the extraction team come in, and they extract the said person that got the courage to lock down. So that is the kind of protesting that we do. And we also do rallies, and we do marches. Like earlier this morning at 10 a.m., we went to the government building over here in Duluth, Minnesota, and it was a big crowd of us actually. Yeah, so we went from the government center, and then we walked down to the lift bridge. And so that's another way we protest, is by like showing up in like towns and communities, and marching, showing that we're there, that, yeah. those are the ways we protest Line 3.
Okay. And then I also saw, I've seen on multiple like Instagram posts and Instagram stories and stuff like that during your peaceful protesting, a lot of people, including yourself, have actually been arrested. So one of the questions was, how many people have been arrested already?
Yeah, so about a total of 600 people and counting actually have been arrested for the line for peaceful protesting and just protesting in general. Like one story that kind of stands out to me is this one person standing in the ditch, like away from everyone, just standing there recording. And the police came up to him and arrested him, and he was just standing in a ditch doing nothing. So it's like simple, like things like that that somebody can get arrested for. Really doesn't make any sense, but they're literally just like arresting people at random now, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's annoying.
Yeah, I bet. And you mentioned earlier that there were the treaty that they broke by they're breaking by building the pipeline through native land. I was
Yeah,
wondering if you could expand more upon that.
yeah, so the treaty rights that they're actually violating is our hunting and fishing treaty rights, our treaty rights to gather Minoman, and yeah, those are our treaty rights that they are violating, and they're also violating our rights to hold ceremony and to pray. They violated those rights. But specifically, they're really violating our rights to gather Minoman. And Minoman is wild rice. It is the reason why the Ojibwe people, the Anishinaabe, that's the reason why we came over here from the East Coast to northern Minnesota, is because their seventh fire prophecy told us if we don't leave here on the East Coast, we will die off as a nation. And like, so we migrated over here to northern Minnesota so we can gather the food that grows on water. And they're literally violating like our treaty rights to our to our food. The reason why we came here, you know, our story. And like it really affects me quite a bit actually, because I've been reconnecting with my culture because I was adopted at a very young age. So I never got the opportunity to wild rice when I was younger. I never got the opportunity to learn Ojibwe Muwin. So this like really like I took this like really personally because I started officially gathering wild rice about 2 years ago, actually, when I first joined the front protect the water fight, you know, water protection. Um, yeah, Line 3 fight. Yeah, so essentially, I take it really personally because I just got really in touch with my roots, and it's actually helped ground me in many ways, more than just like one way. And it's very beautiful because I never knew like how hard the process is and how beautiful the process is gathering Minoman and wild rice. Actually, like the work is, it takes a lot of labor. Like you're on a canoe and you're out in these weeds that are above your head. Like these reeds are beautiful and it's just like super gorgeous. And the fact that they're like going in through what wetlands and wild rice beds that only exist in America together, it violates our treaty rights as a whole. Like those are the reason why we made the 1855 treaty rights, and like all of our treaty rights, they're violating it all, and treaty rights are above the law. It's like federal stuff, so this is like above their head. And yeah, it's just like they don't listen. They keep, no matter what we say, they'll just continue working, essentially.
Mm, okay. Um, Another question I had was, has the government stepped in to either help natives or help Enbridge at all?
Wait, what?
One of the other questions I had was, has the government stepped in at all, either to help natives or for Enbridge?
Yeah, no, yeah. The government actually hasn't even like has stepped in, and they approved the line. So they're obviously supporting Enbridge more than like its own people, its own like citizens of Minnesota. Like government Tim Walz knew the consequences. He knew the fact that like I think about like a month and a half ago, actually, Enbridge filed a lawsuit against I forgot how many counties, but it's every single county that Line 3 actually goes through in the state of Minnesota. And they're suing all of these counties for millions of dollars. And Government Tim Walz had the opportunity to deny Line 3, but he approved it because like um he knew that Enbridge is actually suing these counties within Minnesota, and when he approved it, he is like he is saying like, oh, I don't care about these counties within Minnesota. I don't care about my citizens within Minnesota, because when you get sued by Enbridge, the company, they're taken away from like public roadways. They're taken away from public schooling. They're taking like money that the counties needs, you know, especially schooling. They're taking away like education and like stuff that like these schools needs, like textbooks, like whatever ever kind of resources these schools needs, like to pay their teachers, to pay for like brand new roads in winter, I mean in the springtime. And like it takes away from like the funding of firefighters, because like when the company comes in and they sue the county, it takes away from the county income. So then that means that county isn't getting the income that that county needs to like further support its counties when they need the money. So instead of like paying taxes to the county, the people within that county are just going to be taxed even more, and they're going to be like all of that tax money is just going to go straight to Enbridge. And Enbridge sued each of these counties for like millions and millions of dollars. So essentially all of these counties are going to be going into debt. like it's going to affect many counties within Minnesota, and there, so many people are going to be in debt to Enbridge, and it's really sad and it's really hard to watch, because Government Tim Walz knew the consequences and he knew the effects that he would have if he approved the Line 3, and he did. And he knows that he's throwing his people under the bus, and that's what really like he's not for the people, he's for Enbridge. Like it's pretty clear, it's so clear. And the fact that he did that, and the fact that like he's not doing anything about it is just like it's his like action speaks louder than words. And he made an action, and he approved the pipeline, and he went he became our governor because we believed in him, but then he turned his back on us. So he's not for us, he's not for the people, and it's hard, it's maddening. It's yeah, so I feel bad for the counties and the people within Minnesota. It's really sad.
Hmm, okay. Um, Something I had read about before was something called HR 1374. I was wondering if you knew what that was and if you could explain what that was.
I actually don't know what that means. HR 174. Is that like a code for something, or
It's
and
when I looked it up, it said that it was some kind of um, something that they're trying to pass was that was like for that would help uh, the pipeline. Here, let's
mm,
see.
I'm trying to think. Nothing is crossing my mind, but there were many things that were passed to help the pipeline. Um, but I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. I wish I was. Do you know what was passed to help the pipeline? Like what the article like further says?
Says It says HR 1374, a law that would give federal funding to states to protect so-called critical infrastructure like pipelines.
Oh, are they talking about like using lethal force against water protectors?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm pretty yeah. So yeah, that is a thing that happened like a couple weeks ago. I'd say like maybe 2 weeks ago, if I'm maybe even sooner or later than that. But around that timeline, yes, I did hear about that. And like essentially what it is saying is like these police, um, and I'm pretty sure it also has to do with Enbridge like hiring the local police department to be their like security, and that's illegal to do. But with this being said, is essentially Enbridge is paying these local law enforcement and they're funding them. I think they gave them like a half million or $1 million or something like that. Like it's a crazy amount of money that Enbridge gave like law enforcement to buy new equipment with, to fund them so then they can have the like tools to like basically shoot us with like rubber bullets, to shoot us with like bean bags and pepper balls and mace, and I'm guessing tear gas at some point, because like I'm like it's becoming to a point on line 3 that like the fight is literally heating up as we speak right now, because they're so close to being done that like yes, we are stepping up our game as water protectors because we have to, and that is what is needed to be done. And so essentially, when they pass this law, it is stating that they are scared. They are scared of us. They're literally frightened by us, water protectors. And I don't know why we're not armed, and I don't know why they have to be armed. Like, what, you don't go around carrying guns. You don't go around like they're the ones with the guns. They're the ones who like have lethal force. And like it's, I don't know. It's like portraying us as the bad people, but they're the bad people because they're going against their own people. These are cops going against their own friends and families, you know, and they don't see that. They only see, oh, this is just my job. But it's more than just a job that they are doing. They're protecting like Enbridge. They're protecting sex traffickers. They're protecting like abusers. And like it's really hard because they don't see our side of the story, and they only see angry water protectors that are like doing damage to the pipelines, but no damage to the pipelines has ever been done. Nothing has, like, we didn't, we never used like lethal force. All we ever done or ever did was like lock down, do a peaceful protest, pray, like do a soft blockade. So I don't see a point in them passing this bill. There's no point. There's no point. They're acting as if we're terrorists. They're acting as if we're like crazy people with guns and blazing arms and everything, but we're not. We don't, like, we're just like American citizens trying to protect our water, trying to defend the future, protect the sacred, you know, stand up for wild rice, stand up for like Monoman, but which is wild rice. I don't know why I repeated that. Anyways, yeah, it's just like, it's really hard because when they pass this bill, they're stating that they're with Enbridge, that they don't like us, that they are dehumanizing us. They're making us the enemy when in fact Enbridge is the enemy. It's a external corporation that's not even from America. And it's not even, nobody from America is going to be benefiting from this. All of this oil is going to China, it's going to India. like we're not even going to be using any of this. It doesn't affect America. It doesn't affect Canada. Thing is getting more profit. And like like oil, gas and oil industry, it's a dying industry. Like they're running out of resources faster than they can come up with. Like that's why like Winona LaDuke is so like so for like solar and hemp because that is their future. Solar is the future. Like and like there's other like resources out there to replace like gas and oil. Like when they like approve this, they're just trying to protecting this like this corporation that's just pure and evil. And like the Alberta, Canada, they're I forgot what nation it is, but they're being super affected by this pipeline. And it's like taking their voices away, it's taking our voices away. It makes me feel like I am like an enemy to my own people, to my own state, to my own country, to Turtle Island when they approve this because they're going to be using lethal force against me or against us water protectors. And we do nothing but pray, stand in solidarity. And it's just really hard because it like it's just bullshit. I'm sorry for using foul language, but it like it's hard because this is what they did in Standing Rock, you know, and it's just like yeah. So yeah, that's what I have to say about them passing that bill is that it's wrong and they're just going to be using lethal force against us water protectors because they know that the fight is heating up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh, Another question I had was, why do they need to? Well, this is actually from one of my friends. They want to know, why does Enbridge need to build through native land?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like this question. Yeah, the reason why Enbridge needs to quote unquote build on native land is because the taxes are actually cheaper. It's cheaper to go through native land rather than like a so-called town or residential area where there's like higher populations, and it's actually easier to go through native lands because of like our laws and everything like that. They find like what was that word? I forgot what word it is, but they find like a little like a hole, no, what is it called? It's very specific. So like a loophole. They find a loophole when they go through treaty territories because they know they can and they have like the lawyers to do so. So they know what they are doing. And like not only that, but like many people, including the US government, including like pretty much like colonization as a whole, have been trying to get rid of indigenous people for ages, for years, for centuries, for thousands and thousands of years, essentially. Like it goes way back, like of how bad they want to get rid of us indigenous folks because we're a threat to them. So when they go through native land and when we have these border towns, when the line go through these like right next to the reservations, we get these border towns, we get these man camps, and then when these like border towns and man camps are right next to the reservations, or when they go through those reservations, they bring drugs, sex trafficking, and like just like bad stuff. They bring like all of these horrible things, and it affects the Native American community within that area. And then like all of these indigenous women are actually being stolen. And then like it's really scary because like with these man camps, like about like 4 men actually from line 3 had been busted for sex trafficking along line 3. And plus counting more, I'm guessing there's more. It has to be more than just 4 men doing this. And that's another reason why they want to like built through, I feel like it may not be directly correlated, but that is what comes with this. Like it's cheaper, it's easier for them, it's easier for them to go through wetlands. It's like, and if they were to go through like a town in a white community, it wouldn't be as cheap because the property tax is a lot higher. Because within reservations, we don't have as much income, so then therefore our property value on the land is a lot cheaper. So that's why they want to go through like reservations and stuff. That's the reasoning, and like it's hard. It's really hard because that's like it shouldn't be like that, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just cheaper for them. And it just brings like a lot of like gross negativity with it. So yes.
Okay. Another question he had was, do you think that they could find an alternative to where it won't interfere with native treaties and water supply and such?
Yeah. I mean, I actually don't really, yeah. I mean, I do, but then I don't because like I do because like, well, essentially they just need to not, there's like no solution other than just like stopping investing in fossil fuel, because like no matter which direction they try to point this pipeline to is going to be going through like a different Native American community. Like Turtle Island as a whole, which includes Canada and Mexico, essentially all of Turtle Island is indigenous land, and it's all like treated territory, and it's all like full of wetlands. And they really want to just like, I don't know, there's like really one solution to that. It's to not invest in fossil fuel, is to not build a pipeline, is just like to not do what they're doing. Like maybe what no, I'm doing an interview. But no, essentially they just need to not like, they just need to not like build a pipeline, because that's literally it. That's all they need to do. And that's like the only solution that I have for them. And it's the only resolution. Maybe invest in like something like nuclear energy. Isn't like nukes are bad, but nuclear energy, like just like I think like or even in solar or like hemp, or even like using they have this like this one guy like invented how you can like take water and turn it into fuel for your car, and you only need so much water, and you can like this dude he like made an engine, and he did it I forgot what it's called, but there's like a hydro engine where you use water instead, and you can convert water into fuel, and then it uses like hydrogen and pressure. I don't know how it works, but like that's another solution, is like investing in like water energy. And it's already been invented, but the dude who invented it was killed. Like the government killed him. Like the big oil company don't like people who do this kind of stuff, because they see it as a threat, because they're not going to be making money, because they know that if like his like story got out that he would die, or not die, but they knew that if his story got out that they would lose money essentially. So that's why they killed him. And they said that he like died with a heart attack or something like that, but that's not true. They literally assassinated him and covered it up. And like, oh, he just died of a heart attack or something like that. I forgot who this guy was, but you can literally look it up online, hydrogen, engine or something like something like that. But I feel like that's like the way that we need to go, is to invest in water and make water the new fuel for the future of cars. And you can actually like convert a diesel engine to run on water. It's really cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The last two questions I had was, what can people do to help, and what can people do to help that can't be there in person?
Yes, one way people that can help is like donations, like physical donations, like tents and sleeping bags specifically, because like a lot of people like bring different donations, like pots and pans, which is needed, but we more so need sleeping tents, sleeping bags, not sleeping tents, but like tents and sleeping bags, and like hair soap, like dandruff, shampoo, laundry soap, like actual items that like people need day to day living. Like we have like an influx of food which is needed, but we need like bigger tents, like bell tents, like canvas tents, like old army tents to help us on the front line. And if they can't come, like if you can do like monetary donations or just donations in general, and if you don't feel comfortable with giving donations, give like a gift card or something like that, or even like a gift, like a medicine, like sage, like a sage bundle. Like earlier today, I was gifted like a sweetgrass, a braided sweetgrass, like stuff like that really help like us on the front line. And so yeah, those are some of the things that I think people can do to help us on the front lines, and like another thing people can give essentially is like not like their body, but they're like for them to come to the front line, literally, whether it's like you um like holding the line or coming to do like our dishes, childcare, cleaning up the camp. It really helps us out a lot so we can focus on the fight even more, so we don't have to like worry about that stuff, dog care, like different stuff like that,
Mhm.
all of those things are very helpful. Thank you for asking that question.
Thank you for answering them. Well, that's all the questions I had for today. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I,
Thank you.
all right, you have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Wishnu, Waldman.